Time now for Getting Real with Real Estate. Our experts are back. Andrew Rink and Justice Smith, thank you so much for being here. Now, you know, there's a lot of issues that can arise with your home that can affect your health. A lot of them could be things like mold and asbestos. You know, what are things that you should look for when it comes to mold?
Well, with mold, I mean, I guess you should know that mold is common. I think that, you know, houses, you know, have them, and mold's not necessarily a bad thing all the time. I mean, yeast helps your bread to rise, and it's part of, they're microorganisms, part of fungi, so mushrooms as well. But I mean, if you have mushrooms growing in your shower, that's probably a problem. And I've seen it before. So
you've seen that before?
Absolutely.
Mushrooms in the shower?
Mushrooms in the shower, yeah, or on the wall. Yeah. So mold, when it gets out of control, you know, how it's caused is caused by, you know, moist environments more than anything. But yeah, mold spores, when mold gets really bad, it can start damaging, you know, surfaces of the house, materials, and it can also cause health problems. So it needs to be remediated for sure. And
speaking of health problems, asbestos, it can be deadly if it's progression. You know, what are some important tips, I guess, Andrew, when it comes to asbestos in homes?
Right. Actually, asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral fiber that actually we can harvest. So that's where it comes from. It's got some benefits to it. There's resistance to chemicals that it has, and it actually has some fireproof aspects to it as well. So from a home construction standpoint, back in the day, they thought, well, this would be probably pretty smart to put in insulation and other products. So probably not the smartest thing to do, because you know, after time they found that there were some health concerns with it.
What can people do with this? Like, if they have these problems in their home, how do they treat them?
Well, as far as mold, you know, small jobs you can typically clean on your own. Just use rubber gloves, maybe wear a mask, and a small job being something that's taking you minutes. If it's going to take you hours, then you need to call in an expert. Just you know, be aware that yeah, it can cause health problems. So just be careful with the removal. And
I guess you would have to maybe cut out some of the mold and that kind of thing out of your walls if it gets too bad, I imagine.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. With asbestos, you know, the rule of thumb is if you think it has asbestos, treat it as such. But the big thing about asbestos, if you don't disturb the asbestos spores and don't get them into the air, it doesn't become an issue. It's when you disturb it and the spores are in the air and you breathe it in, that's when the issues arise. But if you are interested in having your asbestos remediated, call an expert. They come out, test it to see if there actually is asbestos, and there's a process to go through to get it remediated. So things to think about.
Right on. Thanks, guys. Andrew Rink, Justice Smith, for Getting Real with Real Estate. If you want to get hold of them, propertypartnersrealty.com.